Boeing expects to return to free cash flow this year as it prepares to resume deliveries of its 787 Dreamliner jet after manufacturing floors paused deliveries.
The US planemaker's shares rose 3.6% in pre-market trading as it recovers after 2 years of travel chaos caused by the pandemic.
Well, Rob Morris is the global head of consultancy for aviation analytics company Ascend by Cirium. Rob, welcome. Good to see you. Well, what's your take on these results? What do you make of them?
Yes, good afternoon, Jamie. To be frank, I thought they were somewhat unremarkable. For sure, they talk about the return to positive cash flow, but I think we were hoping for a bit more positive news on the 787. They talk about resumption of deliveries, but they weren't able to give us a date for that. They also talked about resumption of 737 MAX deliveries in China, the last jurisdiction which hasn't been able to take delivery following the groundings back in 2019. But they can't give a date for that, and they indicated that they're holding inventory of nearly 300 737 still, which will take them through 2024 to clear. So in the commercial market terms, pretty unremarkable, I thought.
Just give us a bit of context on this. I mean, how damaging has the pandemic been for these two companies, and what difficulties still lie ahead?
Well, the pandemic has obviously impacted demand fundamentally from the passenger perspective, but Airbus and Boeing have been able to continue to maintain deliveries, albeit at lower rates. This year, we were expecting Boeing to deliver maybe 550 aircraft. To give some context there, in 2018, just pre the MAX grounding, they delivered over 800 aircraft. The Airbus around 720 this year, although I expect later on their guidance may reduce a bit there compared to 800. The big challenge both face right now is supply chain. It's not really pandemic driven, it's more as a consequence of the conflict. But the supply chain is challenging right now for them. Engine deliveries are being delayed, and that's delaying deliveries of their core single-aisle A320 and Boeing 737 MAX programs.
Rivalry between these two companies is legendary. Who would you say is on top at the moment?
I think Airbus probably have a significant lead. When one thinks about market share for these two, one tends to think about backlog, and if one looks at our Cirium fleets database, we can see that currently between them they share a backlog of around 12,000, just over 12,000 commercial aircraft, but Airbus have 7,000 to Boeing's 5,000, so about a 60-40 market split in favour of Airbus right now.
Rob, good to see you. Thank you very much for coming on the programme. Rob Morris at the aviation analytics company Ascend by Cirium.
Thank you very much.